Now, I get the worry, children on social media, especially when their parents aren't watching over their shoulder. What are they looking at? Porn, violence? Are they being bullied? Are they being preyed on? Talking to a predator? I mean, I was eagle-eyed with my kids. Now, some of the stories have been horrific. They've been all covered in the News Corp's Let Them Be Kids campaign. But what's the solution? Now, in June, federal opposition leader Peter Dutton said, we need kids banned from social media until they are 16. And suddenly the Prime Minister is on board with a ban, although without saying what it actually do.
I want young Australians to grow up playing outside with their friends, off their phones, and onto the footy fields and the netball courts.
But, it sounds lovely, but how practical is this? Parents now can insist on all that, tell the kids, no phone, go and play. I mean, heaven knows how often I said that. And parents who don't care, well, how are these bans going to work with them? Couldn't kids get around any ban pretty easily? And I imagine a lot of parents would even say, oh, for heaven's sake, get off my back. Look, here's the phone. You go and play on the internet, give me some peace. Joining me is Trevor Long, a technology commentator who hosts two popular podcasts, CFTM and Two Blokes Talking Tech. Trevor Long, thanks so much for joining me. Look, a ban on children using social media like Twitter and YouTube and TikTok, Facebook or whatever, how would it actually work?
That's the biggest question I think we don't have an answer to, Andrew. And look, the challenge here is the kids don't have ID and kids don't look their age a lot of the time. I don't know if you've been to a young kids sporting event. Kids in one team can look varied ages, but actually be just one age. So if it's going to work, what I hear is it's going to be about computer validation using face identification and things like that. But we haven't seen that ever tested successfully. And so I support the government looking to invest in testing that technology. But unless that can be foolproof, Andrew, there's nothing other than a date of birth and a parent's sign-off that can validate someone's age. There's plenty of parents who'll tick that box just to get their kids off their back.
Exactly right. Exactly right. And of course, it'll be the slackest parents. No, I don't want to be too rude to too many people. There'll be people that trust their children. But it's exactly the parents that aren't monitoring the social media use of their children responsibly now that would want the children just to, look, here you have it, go your hardest, just get off my back.
I mean, that's the problem we have today with technology, with access to the internet and social media. I get the argument. There can be terrible things happen on the internet and terrible consequences. I'm a parent. My youngest is 12. My oldest is 17. And we've had our challenges with social media. But just in our friend group, amongst our kids' friends, there are some kids that are let loose, some that don't have any access, and some that have strict access. And there's vast differences among those kids, and it's about the parenting. Now, a lot of the parenting is lack of knowledge and insight. So what I believe we should have been discussing all these months is how a government can help parents, how governments can give parents help, training, education, information, because kids will get around this. If kids are drinking at 17, even though the laws are 18, they're going to be on social media at 15, even though the laws are 16. That's what kids do. We've all been there. What we need is help and support for parents to have them understand the consequences, have them understand the reasoning, and have them understand how to deal with kids who want this and nag at them, and how to actually, stick by a rule and hold steady on that rule. That's the challenge we've got going forward.
Yeah, look, I understand the panic and all that, but I'd say to parents, be good parents, number one. And second, the idea that you think, say 16, that's what most people are talking about, age of 16. The idea that you can stop 15-year-olds from getting on the internet is a total joke, in my view, absolute total joke. It's unrealistic. It's just virtue signalling. But Trevor, you're right now sitting there in Silicon Valley at the cutting edge of the new technological revolution. You've just been at the launch of the new Apple iPhone 16, which is artificial intelligence boosted and will be absolutely catnip to a lot of kids wanting to explore that as well. What has this phone got that we don't have already?
And look, Andrew, just on the correlation between those two topics, if you did give your kids an iPhone, there is strict and great parental controls you can put in place that stop your kids using apps and doing things for certain amounts of time. So again, it comes down to learning how to use it. The new iPhone 16 is very much based around that AI generation. We've got this huge amount of conversation from Samsung, Microsoft, Google, everyone. But what Apple's done differently, Andrew, to entice people, I think, is to make artificial intelligence useful. So if you have 10 emails in your inbox, rather than showing you the first 3 words of every email, it'll show you a summary of each email. It'll help you understand which ones you need to act upon first. It'll help you summarize messages as they come through. It'll help you rewrite emails and text messages. So I think Apple might have nailed this, except the problem is it's not coming to Australia, the AI part of this, until December. The new phones, though, will be available next week on the 20th of September. And here's one, they're cheaper than last year.
Well, gee, that's a bonus. I tell you one thing, Trevor, the AI stuff seems to me that it'll be very useful in helping kids fake an older face and an older identity. That's just me, though. Trevor Long, thank you so much indeed for your time.